You gonna try the new course Hero made?
Sure thing, sounds like a blast. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, putting on a stupid voice for some fucking reason that I didn't really need to do to begin with, but in any case, now it's time for part numero 2 of the Kingdom Hearts 3 cleanup video. In this case, it's basically mini-gamer-palooza, in the sense that, yeah, a lot of the minigames that you played beforehand, you can pretty much return to and continue to play for additional bonuses and points. Now, why would you want to replay some of these minigames? Well, for one or two reasons, primarily of which is, well, just getting additional synthesis materials. A lot of which you can generally get anyway, but again, you do have a ranking threshold of, you know, your E to S rank, so, yeah. I mean, it is worth it to get higher bonuses or whatever, but, yeah. It's really just sort of here for completion's sake, for the sake of showing everything off, and, yeah, some of which are returning, others of which are, you know, some additional content that you haven't quite seen yet. But, yeah, you'll be seeing that towards the end of the video as we get towards a certain Gami ship boss fight. Oh, yes, Gami! But yeah, as for what we're doing right here and now, it's basically another case of the Superman 64 that's no time to waste. Ring minigame, which is similar to the training mission that we already played in San Francisco before, so not really too much to add, but again, compared to last time where I was talking about fairy tales gone by, in the meantime I'm also going to be talking about, you know, ongoing plot things going on. Particularly in regards to, again, a lot of the plot revelations, rescuing Aqua, you know, rescuing Ventus, and indeed, lagging video editors that continue to distract me from my tangents, but, you know, it's neither here nor there in this case. But yeah, rescuing Aqua in terms of anything else, I mean, I will say that I do think it was a bit of a missed opportunity to not include the Aqua prologue in Kingdom Hearts 3, because I feel like a lot of that does sort of build up and, you know, sort of contribute towards, you know, Aqua's, sense of loss, you know, considering that she was there for 10 years, so again, if you were just playing Kingdom Hearts 3 as normal, you know, where the game pretty much starts out with Sora in Yensid's office, yeah, I suppose it could come across as leaving Aqua's storyline to be a bit half-cut, provided you didn't play the secret episode of Birth by Sleep and indeed the prologue, but yeah, I mean, all the same though, I feel like they got enough mileage out of that as they possibly can. And as for the whole rescuing Ventus kind of thing, well, again, this is going to be something that's going to be tackled in future parts as well in terms of character interactions, but one of the biggest things that people have is that, yeah, because of the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 is having to pay off so many plot points that they don't really have a lot of a chance to sort of have it as much in-depth character interactions as in fact people would want. And again, the thing I'm really talking about here is in the sense of, and something that, you know, Lee actually kind of brought up earlier, that, yeah, characters interacting like the whole, oh, Ventus looks like Roxas, how are they going to react to that? Well, you don't really get too much of that, or, you know, how is Terra going to react to meeting Sora or whatever? You know, I mean, considering that, you know, he, as the Lingering Will, did fight in, you know, Kingdom Hearts 2, so yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an odd duck, and, you know, when it comes to character interactions, you don't get quite as much as what you would have otherwise wanted, but to me, I feel like it is enough, and the Remind DLC does kind of alleviate that to some extent, but again, at the same time, Kingdom Hearts 3 is also trying to, you know, conclude a lot of the Dark Seeker stuff. And, again, as I brought up all the way at the beginning of the commentary, one of its faults is that, you know, rather than giving that stuff a little bit more room to breathe and, you know, all that kind of thing, instead what happens is that they're busy setting up the next story arc, which, yeah, probably should have saved stuff like, you know, Lee and Isa talking about the girl that was trapped in Ansem's castle, or, you know, some mysterious things involving, a little eye patch man. Yeah, they probably should have saved that for, the next arc, but then again, I think a lot of that has more to do with the fact that Kingdom Hearts Union Cross was running during the production of this game, so yeah, for the sake of, I guess, tiding over audiences that wanted a bit more Union Cross, I guess that was their means of including it, but yeah, it's nothing here nor there in this case. It's not a completely harmonious marriage, I will admit, but yeah, I mean, to me it's a bit more of a stumbling block that others tend to take more offense of, depending on, you know, where they really sit with Kingdom Hearts 3, which I guess to kind of discuss it in and of itself in terms of, and again, I really should be saving this towards the end, but you know what, fuck it, we're just doing another Verum Rex Beat of Lead, you know, yet another tease for the future. Again, in this case, when they're doing it to escape, it's pretty much just a score threshold, as you can see down there, but yeah, in terms of, you know, people's expectations of Kingdom Hearts 3, again, like, in a lot of cases, I feel like it's a very similar example to something like, say, you know, the audiences waiting for, say, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace after many years, or... I mean, I guess to use another example, well, Kingdom Hearts 3 would be the example, because, yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't like a straight-up wait from Kingdom Hearts 2 to 3. I mean, you know, we did have games in between, but I guess for a lot of people, they sort of build up an idea of how they want the games to conclude in their head, or what sort of moments they want to appear. And then, when that doesn't, you know, fulfill their wishes, or it falls short of what their, you know, fan visions or expectations were, then it ends up, you know, drawing some of the more hyperbolic reactions of, oh my god, it was a big disappointment, and I hated it, and it ruined my childhood. Again, hyperbolic I know, and I'm sure a lot more people could eloquently put their complaints in a little bit more, you know, detail and, you know, reasonable content than that, but... yeah, I mean, it is something that, you know, today, or even in the days of yesteryear, is something that you always gotta watch out for. I mean, personally, I'll say that for the end, because I think I've whinged about Kingdom Hearts 3 concluding things long enough. But in the meantime, though, as for any other details we have yet to talk about, I think it's about time we talk some trivia. And a lot of that is actually to do with Demyx, who finally gets something to do, and, you know, playing the go-between between, you know, dealing the replicas to the hero side. But yeah, apart from that just sort of being set up for the finale, which, you know, admittedly does have its own payoff, so, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't completely like a daisical in that aspect. But yeah, Demyx's voice actor Ryan Donahue. I know him as the voice of Matthew McGinnis in Batman Beyond, which I was watching last night, and again, even as the prepubescent, you know, Matty McGinnis, I still recognize, hang on, is that fucking Demyx? And lo and behold, I was right! So yeah, he's had a very long, illustrious career as Ryan Donahue. But yeah, as for anything else though, to, I guess, talk turkey about anything else, would once again be that, actually no, I've got something else important coming up, so I guess I don't really have much time to talk about that, but one thing I can talk about actually is how the Japanese voice actors of Sora, Kairi, and Riku were unhappy with her characterization being mishandled in Kingdom Hearts 3, which, again, you might notice by the fact that she hasn't actually fucking done anything, which I guess is probably their salient point, but, yeah, needless to say, Kairi is, you know, they're trying to push her forward, but at the same time, they're also, gonna treat her a little bit poorly, and unfortunately that does extend to Melody of Memory as well, which is, the game that comes out after Kingdom Hearts 3, which was meant to be a Kairi-centric game, but was mainly more of a recap kind of thing, and then proceeded to barely do anything with Kairi at all, at which point she later ends up getting trained by Aqua to further her Keyblade mastery skills, so yeah, the fact that she's pretty much a novice at this stage, well, yeah, is gonna be a bit of a bane of her existence in this case. Kerblamo! And that's the end of that chapter. See you later, Quadratum, we'll be back for you.
Here, I'll show you the way.
Oh dear, back to Frozen Land. That ruined the Snow Queen story. And now things are about to get SSX tricky as we enter one of the more annoying minigames of Kingdom Hearts 3, the Frozen Slider minigame. Now, what you're doing throughout this little scenario right here is that you're basically sliding down the mountain when she comes. Yeah, basically collecting, you know, little points and pellets down here to pretty much build up your score threshold. But what you're actually trying to do is you're pretty much collecting treasures as you slide down. It's, again, in kind of a reminiscent thing of Kingdom Hearts 1, actually. It's pretty much reminiscent of the Jungle Slider minigame from Tarzan, except, well, actually, yeah, it's just as tedious. I mean, again, you don't have to gradually unlock paths like you did in the Jungle Slider minigame, but what you are doing is basically having to go down multiple times in order to get, you know, Roman numerals, which are pretty much indicative of your treasures. You need to get all 10 in order to obtain the Orichalcum Plus, which is your means of getting the Ultima weapon. So again, if you want that excellent Ultima weapon, well, you're gonna have to work hard on all those treasures, doing this multiple times. But, yeah, the landscape is pretty lengthy, and, again, unlike something like, say, Sonic 2006 with its broken physics, no, you can't actually manipulate the snowboard's physics to go back up, so again, if you miss a treasure, you basically gotta restart and do it all over again, and you pretty much need to look for needle in a haystack style Roman numerals in a very expansive snow thing where you're pretty much barreling down the mountain, with no way of really finding them, or with ease. I mean, again, it would be fine if you just had to build up, like, maybe a certain amount of score threshold and, you know, still enjoy, like, I don't know, going down the mountain. Maybe implementing a trick system would probably be kind of cool, you know, stunt system, in keeping with that early 2000s sort of extreme, dude! But no, all you really get is, like, one basic double jump when you're in the air, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, you do also get, like, a tertiary flip ability when you jump off, like, ramps and whatever, but yeah, that's not really saying much. And yeah, I am pretty much only showing this twice, you know, once on my first run, and then when I get all the treasures. Whoa, whoa! Yeah, alright. And by the way, your rank is only really determined by, you know, the amount of crystals you pick up as you go down the mountain, so yeah, you don't need to worry about, like, getting the highest rank possible, although I actually ended up doing so, and I believe you get Master Treasure Magnet for your rewards, so yeah. Ooh! Here we go! Woohoo! Be cool, be wild, be groovy, and such. But yeah, I mean, apart from one last minigame that we'll be covering in the next part, this is pretty much all we have to take care of in Frozen Land, so Aqueous, really, nothing really to worry about, and yeah, it's here where we get the 10th treasure, so I do apologize for those of you hoping that I would end up covering, you know, where all the locations of the different, you know, treasure pieces are, but honestly, it's repetitive enough to get down as it is, and quite frankly, oh, my sanity was pushed to the limit by the time I ended up finishing this. So yeah, we're pretty much just sort of moving on after we get our 10th treasure, and thus another piece of Orichalcum Plus will be ours. And yeah, it's in little nooks and crannies like this that you sort of have to wiggle your way around to sort of get your way into, and hopefully... There you go. Only the best. Finally finished. And thus, onwards and upwards, and we can finally finish this Frozen Slider minigame for good. Truly that troll devil is laughing at me. Put a splinter of glass fragment in my eye, and a mirror shard on my heart, and made me angry and bitter. Now all I have to do is just solve, you know, solve the mirror puzzle. By the way, again, I know I kind of rushed it towards the end of the Snow Queen, the Snow Queen story recap, but by the way, the Snow Queen actually wasn't evil. She just sort of took Kay away from Gerda and basically had him spell Eternity to release him from her spell. So yeah, she didn't technically die and wasn't really technically evil, she just sort of took him away. I can't really remember why, because I read that story last night, but Aqueous, really. The point is, it was more interesting than fucking Frozen ever was, so yeah. Whoa-ho! Orichalcum Plus! Yeah! And now, let's switch things up with the Gummy Ship. And this time showing off another ship model, the Final Fantasy ship, as we head towards, you know, some of the more powerful boss fights. This covered up in that miasma. Or miasma, tornado, cyclone, whatever's your poison. And yeah, in order to get through these, you basically need a ship that's fast enough, so again, you either use a pre-baked model, or you utilize a ship such as the Final Fantasy airship, to, you know, have all the pre-baked speed assets in order to penetrate it and, well, destroy the boss. And if you might recall, this is a boss we've actually fought before, which was nearby the Pirates of the Caribbean, so yeah, one of the slight letdowns of some of the Gummy Ship super bosses, for lack of a... Well, super bosses, higher challenging ones... I mean, there's really only technically one super boss that I would technically count. Well, two, technically. One of which is the Omega Machine, and the second of which is one we're going to be covering next time, but yeah, basically, they have more powerful variants of the, you know, the Crawlers, which was what we fought beforehand, and yeah, compared to the other one, it's pretty much just set on one measly planetoid, so yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote. Not really too much to say in the aspect of how to take this thing down. I mean, again, you saw it beforehand, avoid its shots, destroy its mines, and yeah, just target your Gummy Ship bullets towards it and open fire, really. Oh no, wait, I tell a lie, there are multiple planetoids. Very lazy, Square Enix. But in any case, so I just figured this would be a nice opportunity to show off the different Gummy Ship models, and yeah, you will be getting something quite special in the next part, actually, as we do get to tackle the Gummy Ship Super Boss, which again, I initially thought that both this one and the one we'll be fighting next time was, you know, part of you getting the ultimate weapon, but no, a lot of that's actually just restricted to the final quadrant. So basically, a lot of what I fought here and next time was, well, I'm not going to say it was a complete waste of time, but yeah, needless to say, I was just sort of pointlessly challenging myself for things that I didn't really need to do, but honestly, you know what, fuck it. It's a means of showing off more of the game's content, and well, I mean, quite frankly, in terms of the boss that we're going to be fighting in the next part, I'm glad that I showed it off, because it's a reference to an old Squaresoft game that, well, again, I can't really say it was underrated because it didn't technically release in the PAL regions, but I don't know, yeah, it's a nice little reference. Might not have gotten a lot of Final Fantasy rep, but you do get some underrated Square Enix representation, which, you know, must have been nice for any shoot-'em-up fans of the olden days. Oh my god, look out! I suppose while we still have some time to talk about it, and, you know, Kingdom Hearts 4 is on the horizon, although we haven't heard hide nor hair of it since we got some of those reveal images. I mean, Tokyo Game Show's just passed at present time of recording, so, yeah. I mean, I am at least hoping we get something towards the end of the year for Kingdom Hearts 4, but, yeah, who knows, really. Maybe, I don't know, maybe by the time this video goes live, but, quite really. But anyway, the point that I wanted to bring up in terms of gummy ship functionality is that I do wonder if they're going to use this opportunity, again, if the Star Wars rumors are true, to, I don't know, maybe give us some unique vistas. I mean, again, I can't imagine that, again, if they did get Star Wars into the fray, that they would deny us, like, a gummy ship run of maybe the Death Star 2, if, you know, the rumored Episode 6 is meant to be what we're tackling. I don't know. I mean, it seems like an opportune moment to do that, but yeah, it just sort of remains to be seen. Oh no, we're gonna die. But yeah, don't worry. In terms of any other perks that you have equipped to your gummy ship for any other models, like again, the special ability that you have is still very much equipped, so yeah, again, if you want to heal up your ship or, you know, utilize some, you know, torrential downpour lasers, yeah, you still have your special ability. So, no need to worry, really. In fact, that's, you know, that health bonus ability is going to come in quite handy, because, yeah, next time's Gummy Ship Super Boss, well, it's going to make Sora cry and run for the hills. Oh my god, it's a giant worm! Actually, now that I think about it, again, if there was a Star Wars Gummy Ship Super Boss in Kingdom Hearts 4, that, you know, that giant worm from that fucking planet that the Millennium Falcon escaped from in Episode 5 would probably make for a decent reskin of this boss. Oh nope, can't go across the planet because we're stuck in a fixed plane, trajectory, thing, whatever. Yeah, in any case, I've pretty much run out of steam for this case, but mainly just want to save my throat for the next part. So, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on Kingdom Hearts 3, well, we begin with the last piece we need of the Orichalcum Plus, the Flan minigames. Catch you dudes and dudettes next time, and I'll see ya later.